Commission for the City of Ottawa. And before we begin our official ceremony today, I'd like to say a few words. And before I get to those words, I want to be the first to give a great shout out to John Manconi, our City General. I just want to say it's the most relaxed I've seen them in 9 months. So I think everything's going to go well today. Today is one of the most anticipated events in our city's history. It has been a long time coming, and I can see looking out at your faces that you are all as excited as I am that it's finally here. Woo-hoo, yeah. The vision of an east-west light rail system running underneath Ottawa's downtown core began over 10 years ago.
I want you, before I offer words of a blessing and a prayer, I'd like to say that the birds are on the move right now. The geese, the songbirds, the blackbirds, and you know one thing about them. They're going to get where they're going in the best way possible. It's something that they're guided to by Spirit, by Creator. When it comes to human beings, you know, we want to get to their journey to go well too. You know, whether you're in a birch bark canoe, the people the paddlers in the canoe want the people that are traveling with them to be safe and secure, to be comfortable. And that's the way it's been with the Algonquin people. You know, it's this is an historic event. I know that, you know, generations and generations from now, this day will be remembered, and I'm very proud to be here as part of that. So I'm going to offer words of a prayer and a blessing. This prayer that you're going to hear now has been in this country for thousands of years. It's a prayer from Tamagami First Nations, from an elder named Bill Twain, who was a Second World War veteran. Mr. Twain was wounded in the front lines in Europe during the Second World War, defending freedom and democracy. And Mr. Twain, you know, even though Indigenous spirituality was outlawed, kept this prayer alive, you know, and it's still alive today, and this is it. I want to say to that good spirit, Minumanado, how grateful we are for everything that Creator placed in our homelands that help human beings to live well.
I'd like to welcome you to Tunney's Pastor Transit Station for the official opening and ceremonial ride of the Old Train Confederation Line. My name is Natalie Cavalli, and I'll be your Master's of Ceremony today for this momentous occasion. I'm truly honored. I would now like to introduce the individuals here on stage beside me. Joining us to help celebrate this momentous occasion are His Worship Jim Watson, Mayor of the City of Ottawa. Son honneur, Jim Watson, Maire de la Ville d'Ottawa. The Honorable Caroline Mulroney, Minister of Transportation. L'Honorable Caroline Mulroney, Ministre des Transports. Anishinaabe Grand Chief Verna Poston is not here today. Algonquins of Pequannock First Nation Chief Kirby White Duck. Nation Algonquine de Pequannock Chief Kirby White Duck. And of course our elder Dumont, as well as Doug Ojik, Band Council Member, Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe.
It's even sunny out today. It's supposed to be raining. What a great start to LRT in the city of Ottawa. Bienvenue. Welcome. On behalf of all my colleagues on the City Council, past and present, I'm thrilled to join all of you today for this historic event, the launch of the Confederation Line LRT. I do also want to acknowledge that we're on the unceded territory of the Algonquin people, and we value our relationship with our surrounding Algonquin communities, Mikwaknagan and Kitigat-Zibi, as well as all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit residents of Ottawa. We have many special guests here with us this morning, and I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your schedule on a Saturday morning to be here to launch the LRT. I want to welcome representatives from our federal and provincial partners who are with us today, notably the Honourable Caroline Mulroney, Minister of Transportation for the province of Ontario. I also want to acknowledge and thank our partners at the federal level. There's something called an election taking place right now, and they are not allowed to have a formal role, but I do want to recognize the Honourable Catherine McKenna, representing the Government of Canada, and the MP for this area, for being with us today. Without them, congratulations. Without the financial contribution of the Government of Canada and the Province of Ontario, this project would not have been possible. This goes way beyond party lines, and I want to recognize the governments of Paul Martin, Stephen Harper, Justin Trudeau, Dalton McGuinty, Kathleen Wynne, and Doug Ford for choosing to invest in our vision for a better Ottawa. I also want to acknowledge, and there are so many here, I'm just going to ask them to stand, past and present council members who are from the City of Ottawa. If they could be, rise up and get a round of applause for these men and women. Congratulations. Thank you very, very much. And in particular, my thanks to Transit Commission Chair Alan Hughley and the previous Chair Stephen Blake. Thank you also to former mayors who are with us today, Jim Durrell, Bob Shirelli, and Larry O'Brien, who advanced the ideas that have led to LRT in our city. We're building on the foundation that you left us, and please, Larry and Bob, stand up, take a bow. We're here because of your work. I also want to thank the members of the 2007 Task Force on Transportation, who made many recommendations that steered the design of the LRT to produce the system we're launching today under the leadership of the Honourable David Collinet. David, thank you very much. Where's David? Merci à vous tous de vos contributions. And I also want to acknowledge our Algonquin partners, Chief Kirby White Duck, and Douglas Ojik, and of course Elder Albert Jamal were with us on the stage. And also representing us this morning, representing the Algonquins of Ontario, are Lynn Cloutier and Janet Stivinger. We thank them as well. Indigenous partners who contribute so much knowledge and advice to this project, and we thank you for your support throughout the process. To all of you, I say Kichi Miigwech. The City Manager, Steve Kadalakis, and John Manconi, General Manager of the City's Transportation Services Department, along with our senior staff and members of the project team, who have worked very, very hard over many, many years. Your hard work has paid off with this feeling of accomplishment. Thank you to the staff of OC Transpo under your leadership, Don. We're also joined by representatives from the Rideau Transit Group, RTG, along with the team from the Rail Construction Program, and many of the workers, the women and men, construction workers, trades and unions, who have contributed hours towards the success of this project without losing any life or limb. This is a brilliant safety record. We thank the men and women who toiled, and there are some tough conditions underground, 40 below. Thank you to the construction workers and the skilled trade workers who have made this possible. Our union leaders, and we thank them for accepting our invitation. To everyone who has put in many hours in order to make this opening event a special one, particularly to our organizers and our performers.
Well, welcome everyone, and merci Nathalie for the introduction. On behalf of the Ontario government and our Premier Doug Ford, I want to extend my greetings to everyone here today. Au nom du gouvernement de l'Ontario et du Premier ministre Doug Ford, je tiens à saluer tout le monde ici aujourd'hui. Before I begin again, I'd like to take a moment to welcome my friends and my colleagues from all political parties and all levels of government for being here with us today to mark this historical moment. Since becoming Ontario's Minister of Transportation only a few months ago, I have set a clear goal to invest in transportation to bring relief and new opportunities to transit users and commuters. That is why I am very excited to be here with all of you today to officially open the O-Train Confederation Line. And it's great to be back in my hometown of Ottawa. I grew up here. I remember the rapid transit bus, then came the light rail transit, and now the mayor has informed me that the home in which I spent a few of my childhood years is being condemned. How times are changing. Luckily, the changes that we are here today to celebrate are going to make the lives of transit users in Ottawa and the Ottawa area much easier. As the mayor mentioned, the Confederation Line will officially be open for service today at all 13 stations along the line, from Tunney's Pasture Station in the west to Blair Station in the east. This is great news for Ottawa residents. The new O-Train Confederation Line will provide fast, clean, and reliable public transit for commuters in Ottawa and make this city more accessible for both residents and visitors alike. La nouvelle ligne O-Train de la Confédération offrira un transport en commun rapide, propre et fiable aux navires d'Ottawa et rendra cette ville plus accessible aux résidents et aux visiteurs. With trains arriving every 5 minutes or less, the new LRT line is expected to carry up to 10,700 passengers per hour in each direction during weekday peak periods, making it the busiest light rail transit line system in North America. The Government of Ontario has committed up to $600 million towards the O-Train Confederation Line. We're making life easier for the people of Ottawa. Investing in smart transit is just one of the ways that we are doing this. As the mayor said, Ottawa residents deserve a world-class transportation system that gets both them and the economy moving. And today, that is exactly what they are getting. The O-Train Confederation Line will transform the way residents and commuters travel within the city of Ottawa.
Mayor Watson and Minister Mulroney, would you please come forward to unveil the commemorative plaque that recognizes the roles that your governments played in the construction of the Confederation Line?
Oh, you're good? Okay. Nobody's coming? Let's go.
To power up the Confederation Line that will immerse you and the audience, all of the members, in sound and light show. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Power line. Activate. Initiated. System activated. Welcome aboard. Bienvenue à bord.
Introduce yourself and tell what's your feeling of this achievement today.
Okay, Alan Hubley, I'm the chair of Ottawa's Transit Commission, and today is both exciting and nervous energy because we want to make sure that everything goes perfectly for us today.
Are there many difficulties that you face today?
None. So far everything's been perfect, but we welcome the public at 2 o'clock. That's what we got to run off right now. make some preparations for when everybody comes back into.
Sure. My name is Jim Watson. I'm Mayor of the City of Ottawa. Very proud to be here at Tunney's Pasture as we launch the first inaugural run of the LRT Confederation line. It's a very proud moment for me as Mayor, but also as a citizen of Ottawa.
How do you tell people of Ottawa to contribute in this achievement for the future of the city?
Well, come and use the system. You know, for the first 3 weeks there'll be parallel bus service, but after that it's a hub and spoke system where people will take their community bus, dropped off here or Herdman or Blair, and hop on the train, and it's a smooth ride right downtown. You don't get stuck in traffic. People will be very impressed.
Do you think that this, the point of the ride, will help, very soon people of Ottawa will see the progress of this, the development of the program?
Yeah, I think we're already seeing the progress take place. We've got apartment buildings that are being built up around transit stations, and it's going to allow people to move to different parts of the city and work in one part, live in another, and take the train to get there.
Hello, how was your day?
It was amazing. So light rail transit is really going to transform Ottawa. Just seeing so many people on the train, I'm really excited because I know people want to get around cheaper, faster, cleaner for work, for play. So it's going to really make a big difference in the lives of so many people.
How do you see that this achievement will affect the independent economic development for Ottawa City?
Well, it's really important for great cities. They need great public transit. And our government, the Liberal government, has been committed to investing in public transit, $28 billion, including right here, light rail transit. And it's also about making sure it's cost effective for people to get around. And I'm the Minister of Environment, so also cleaner. We want cleaner air, and this means cleaner air, that we are reducing our greenhouse gas emissions and really making a difference for the environment.
How do you think this achievement will affect the daily life of people of Ottawa?
Well, I'm thinking of public servants. So maybe you live, either east of downtown or west of downtown. You can hop on the LRT. Maybe you take the train. Maybe you take a bus, the LRT. Hop on. You get downtown a lot faster. And forget the aggravation. So many people driving their cars. They're like, it takes so long.
So it's gonna help the traffic in the downtown core?
It'll help the traffic in the downtown core. It'll help traffic in the suburbs. And I think it'll mean that people can get home faster. And also maybe they can read a book on the way. They can be on their iPhone or their phones, or they can just look out the window and talk to their friends.
Okay. I'm John Fraser. I'm the member of the Provincial Parliament for Ottawa South and the interim leader of the Ontario Liberal Party.
How do you see this achievement will affect the development of economic for Ottawa?
This is a game changer for us. It's a historic day. It's going to transform our city, and not just not right now, but in 5 and 10 years. The city's going to grow and develop in different ways, and it's going to be a great thing. It's a fantastic day for the city, and so many people had a part.
Are you satisfied that the new line covered the points of traffic and crowdness in the city?
Oh yeah, and it's a start. Everybody has to remember it's a start. And now that
because there are many people who criticize that the main place of the traffic downtown is just linked with the tunnel.
Well, I think the thing is we had to get the buses out of downtown because it really made things very difficult at the peak times in the day. And the east-west corridor is going to extend, right? So it's going to go to the farthest end of the city. And that will make a huge difference in reducing traffic congestion to the Queensway. It's going to go farther south in the next phase. So this is a really important start. It's going to change the city itself, but also we're going to add to it. So we're already planning to add to it, and it makes the city a different place. Good for economic development. It's going to change how and where we build housing, transform neighborhoods. It's a city building. It's all about building the city.
How do you think in the future plans for another lines or new lines? How are you going to avoid the multiple deadlines that were missed the last time?
I think the thing is in any project, you have to anticipate that you'll have delays. It's not uncommon. And I think what the city did, and we build into contracts now, especially the way that we write contracts, is we put risk on the people who are doing this to deliver on time. And that's the only way that you can do that, is to say, look, if you aren't on time, then we're not going to pay you right. Or if you miss these deadlines, there's a penalty. And so, the way that we build projects is we put that risk on the people who build it, so it's not totally on government. And I think we're doing that the right way. But you can't avoid these things. You don't rush them. You get them right, because this isn't here for a week. It's here for 50 years, 100 years. So if it takes an extra 9 months for something that's going to be 50 years, it's not ideal, but I'm thinking about 50 years.
And what is the right message that you want to deliver to Ottawa's people with this achievement?
We're a world-class city. We're a city that's got a great quality of life. We've got great public transit. It's a place where people can come, bring their family, they can invest in, they can come and go to school. It's an incredible city. I've lived here all my life. I don't want to go anywhere. What we have here is really special. And we live in a city on top of that where so many people from so many different places live. Hundreds of different places.
Mosaic.
It's a mosaic, and it works. It's not perfect. We need to keep working at it. But in Ottawa South, families from 125 different countries, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit, all live there. They speak 90 languages. I challenge anybody to tell me where else that happens. Not many places.
Can handle 30, 50 years of growth and capacity. Everything's been well thought out, and large transformational projects like this are difficult, and that's what gets them to be what they are. Great projects forever. The legacy on this project is 50 years from now, someone will say somebody did something really great to position the city for forever.
Alors c'est un projet tellement important pour la ville, pour beaucoup des ans dans le futur. On a fait des choses tellement modernes avec des compagnies tellement bonnes comme Thales, c'est une compagnie du Canada. On a des trains légers qui sont tellement bonnes pour le futur. On a fait un tunnel avec la technologie pour utiliser le cellulaire, et c'est bon pour l'économie, c'est bon pour la ville, c'est bon pour être une ville qui peut faire la compétition dans le 20e.
How does this achievement will affect the economic of Ottawa, the development of the economy of Ottawa?
Well, I think it supports all the economic development that we've seen in Ottawa over the last few years, but it's going to create new opportunities. And we were talking as we were riding the train about development that is already starting to see along the corridor. It will allow companies, as they're looking where to set up, they'll be able to look at Ottawa and say that their employees will be able to get around more easily. It will improve the lives of those who already work in companies here, but it'll make Ottawa a choice for other companies. And so it's going to have a huge impact on the economic development opportunities of the city, but I think this is something that the mayor has probably been talking about now for a long time and knows very well. So I think it's a great day.